Hello guys, my name is Amit Sani and I welcome you on this daily UPSC MCQ series. In the evening these lessons are coming, in the morning the Hindu answer videos they are coming. So 7 days these evening lessons are available. The PDF you are getting on Telegram channel there. It is given on my Facebook group there. And the paid courses, they are available at just 159 rupees per month. More than 8,000 people they have subscribed for these paid courses, and all are appreciating these things. And three important faculties, Gaurav sir, Prashant sir, Mahipal sir's videos are there and extremely relevant for exams. You all know about them, and more detailed these videos are, more appropriate these videos are. So there will be no regret, and join them because the limited numbers are there. Pocket News app is trending on Google Play. You can download that regarding these courses. The descriptions are given below the video. You can call on these numbers for any of the query, and if any issue you see in joining the paid platform there, then you can call on these numbers. Okay, and PDF you will get here on Telegram channel, which is given here on this Facebook group, and you can follow me on Instagram too. First question is from 5G network issue. You see the very advanced issue, 5G network trials, they were done in India, and the Huawei company's issue is going on for many months now. US is trying to block this Huawei company everywhere in the world, but China is pushing for that. It is the biggest company there for this service, and the cheapest service Huawei is delivering for that. So the deal is going on, and China is trying to start this service in India through Huawei company, but there are blockages. US is trying to block there, and it is another pressure from US now after the Iran oil issue and the S400 issue, and now this Huawei company's issue will be there. US said that we will block all the intelligence services that we are providing to India if India is going to allow the Huawei company there. So they may ask you about this 5G issue and many important crucial basics and the details regarding 5G technology. So this IMT 2020, first of all, is it under the International Telecommunication Union, which is a specialized agency of UN? So this is correct. IMT 2020 are the important requirements issued by ITU for 5G networks. So first statement is correct. IMT means International Mobile Telecommunication 2020, because the 5G is going to start in 2020 especially, and the trials are going on in many countries, and some they have launched it, like the South Korea launched it with the Samsung company. But here this statement is correct. Second, 3GPP, third generation partnership project. This is a specific standards organization, and it has developed and maintained many of the services like the 2G, 3G, 4G and other issues, and now this 5G technology. So this statement is also correct. Both the statements are correct. These are more technical terms, but this is very necessary that you know them, because UPSC may ask these details, because it is the very, very important need for the total digital revolution in this world, and especially for India. You see, everyone is using internet, their Facebook, WhatsApp. These things are unimaginable without internet, and the technology that we are using, mainly the 4G today, that is going to be obsolete when this 5G will come, because 5G will bring speeds in gigabytes. So that's going to be a huge thing. So C, both is the right answer here. And you can see a US senator warns India against Huawei company. So this is the issue, and these are the details regarding the 5G 5th generation cellular network. And the industry association with 3GPP, as I told you, it has developed and maintained, and it's a standards organization, and it has the link up with all the market bodies and all for rolling out this 5G technology. And they are defining it with the 5G NR issue, means new radio, because they have developed a new radio access technology for that, because it is going to be different from the 4G technology, and the antennas and the wavelengths, they are going to be shorter one, and the millimeter wave will be so small that it will not be able to penetrate through walls. So they will deploy this huge infrastructure there. Many small antennas will be deployed there in all the streets, along the highways and everywhere, but it will give very fast speed internet there. So the 5G NR software is going to be there for 5G technology, and these requirements by IMT 2020 under ITU, they will be fulfilled by 3GPP, and it will submit their 5G NR to ITU now. So that's the issue. Okay, so the earlier one was were these second generation, third generation, 4G, and other important UMTS, GSM, LTE, which are the additional technologies there. This is the detail of IMT 2020, and you can go through that. 3GPP, Standards Organization, it developed and maintained these important technologies in the past, and now for 5G it is giving 5G NR there. Okay, very important one. And for this 3GPP headquarters are there in France, so that's important. And they may ask you about these details. There are organizational partners, 7 organizational partners, and one is there for India also. TSDSI, Telecommunication Standards Development Society. So UPSC may ask you about this also. It's one of the 7 organizational partners for 3GPP. So that's why it's important. And 5G NR, which is given here. And the first large-scale commercial launch of 5G NR would occur in 2019, according to the latest information. Next, the ITU, it's a specialized agency under UN, and it is one of the oldest organizations. First was the Rhine Navigation Commission in 1815, and second one was this ITU. It was established in 1865. Earlier it was called International Telegraph Union, and now Telecommunication Union. So we know telegraphs are no more in use, so that's why it's important. Next, Shannon Limit. This issue is related to space or planet's mass, gravity, any kind of a limit related to them, or any limit related to ecological balance in the ecosystems. No, these 3 are wrong. D is the right answer. Digital communication is the right answer here, because it is again related to the same 5G technology there. This Shannon Limit tells us that why we had to develop 5G technology, and why there was a limit on the communication speed under 4G network. There is a Shannon theory or Shannon limit which tells that after this limit there is going to be a noisy situation on these communication channels, on these spectrums and all, and the smooth working of these communication channels will not be possible above that. So the Shannon limit was reached for 4G technology, and that's why they needed to develop the 5G technology further. So that is given here. Throughput between 4G and 5G in the existing bands is because 4G already approached the Shannon limit on data communication rates. Okay, and 5G speeds in the less common millimeter wave spectrum. So as I told you, the millimeter wave will be smaller than the 4G, so it is going to be a different platform there. And the details are given here. They may ask you, it's a derived question. Okay, the UPSC is asking about these technical and advanced details a lot nowadays, so that's why it's important. Next, Colombos. Colombos are the community found in which country? South Sudan, Brazil, Burkina Faso, Eritrea. Ethiopia, they were in use, but Colombos, they belong to Africa, but these are African American communities, and they were actually brought from Africa to South American countries as slaves, because in 15th, 16th, 17th century they were treated like the animals, and they were brought there in the phase of colonization especially, but they freed themselves, some of them, and they were called Colombos. They got settled into parts of Brazil there in the rural areas. Now information which came in the Hindu newspaper today, and it says that no country is there for Colombos now. Why? Because Brazil government is gonna expand the missile launch and missile testing sites in the state of Maranhão, where the rural habitations of these Colombos are there. So they will be displaced from there, but who is going to accept them? Where they are going to be settled now? So they are going to be the next community which will be displaced, and who will accept them? Because originally they came from Africa, means they were brought from Africa, and they got settled here after they became free from these exploiters there. So that's why it's important, and the details are given here. and they are found mainly in the Latin American countries, and especially in Brazil, and the populations are very dense in this Maranhão state and the Bahia state. Means not too much in number, but in the rural areas they are much in number. Next, National Physical Laboratory. Does it maintain the standards of measurement in India? For sure. This is given the responsibility as a national institute for these measurements, because the SI units, we all know, kilogram, mole, meter, these all are there, and these are the standards. So in India, these are maintained by National Physical Laboratory. It works under CSIR. The parent body is the CSIR, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. So CSIR is one of the most important institution in India, and under that many labs they work. So this NPL is based in New Delhi, and recently it developed a important security ink. So that's why it was there in the newspaper today. So second is wrong, first is correct. Only one is the right answer here. You can see the NPL details here and the charter of it. As a separate entity, it was set up in 1900, and one of the earliest national laboratories set up under the CSIR. And Mr. Nehru laid the foundation stone in 1947, and later many developments were there. So this is the charter and the details which came today. Like this light means the ink that they developed there, that will look like red when the ultraviolet rays will be there on it, and then these rays will be off, then it will turn green, and normally in the ambient light it will look like this color, like white color. So this is going to be very, very important, because security inks are extremely important, because they are unique. They are based on some these physical property there. So that's why they have developed that, and this is very much applicable in India, in currencies, and many other areas. So that's important. UPSC may ask you about these details. Next, the issue of antimicrobial resistance. When we discuss that, then tuberculosis is a prime example. One more important example is the Staphylococcus aureus bacteria. This is a part of microbiota of the human body. Means normally some bacteria are found in your body. Sometimes they may be the cause of many diseases. Sometimes they are not causing any disease, but they are present there. So in the upper respiratory tract and on your skin, normally this bacteria is present. It's a gram positive bacteria. Normally negative ones are the disease causing, but it is a positive bacteria, but it is dangerous. And now it was discussed mainly for the antimicrobial issue, because many of its variants, they have become totally drug resistant. Antibiotics are not working on this bacteria, and there is a big reason, that is called biofilm. Means the bacteria, they create biofilm. Means they come together, they release some compound, and they will create a film like substance there, and this is why the antibiotics, they will not be able to penetrate through it. So this is how they are developing this antimicrobial resistance there. Okay, so this is correct. First is wrong, because it's a gram negative bacteria. Only 2 is the right answer here. You can see today, it was the news in the newspaper today, druggable targets, they were found in this bacteria. Now on these targetable areas, these drugs which were not effective earlier, now they will be effective, because they will be targeting these specific protein targets. And IISER, which is there in Pune, these researchers, they found these important areas, and it is going to be a groundbreaking discovery, because all the fraternity all around the world, they are very much afraid of this situation, because it is becoming more and more resistant, and many people are facing fatal situations because of this resistance by this bacteria. And it's a very common one, and in the hospital instruments and after surgery, due to these biofilms on these instruments, many people are getting affected there, and it can cause serious problems, serious infections in your body. It may reach up to your heart, and in the heart muscles it may cause a lot of infection there. So that's why it's very, very important. Next issue, the details are given here, and it look like that in the electron microscope. Next issue, which food recently was approved by US regulators to tackle malnutrition? Brinjal, potato, tomato, they are no more allowed there. These are the GM cotton seeds, which was the news, and C is the right answer there. And they have made some changes with the RNA silencing technology, RNA interference actually. So RNAite is the technology there. So now people will be able to eat these cotton seeds. Cotton seeds means cotton is the plant, and normally this is not eatable, but they will be able to use as eatables because it can tackle the malnutrition problem there. But certainly it is a genetically modified seed, so it's a controversial one. But even it is controversial, but it is approved by US regulators there. So that's all for today. We'll meet again tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Keep watching. It was Amit Sani.